think what happened when the kid got locked in a lab and then he came out rapping? Now he's gonna take the game out rapping and maybe take your bae out after. We gon' make out laughing. Showtime, call me Lou out Tinder. It's really not an option to pass it. But if the lady wanna assist in making Jerry bust, well then shit. The Johnson is magic. I've had nights that I can't remember, spent with people that I'll never forget. I've had things that I've done in my past I don't like, but I can never regret. I learned life is a video game, and God is the devil that's set. And the devil is that little voice in your head playing and saying that you gotta be what everyone says. This is a lyrical play, we're in a spiritual day. I get to writing off a beer and a J. I'm the man that my heroes made. Sharing with Crane, Godfather like De Niro would say. Past the level where my peers can relate. Stuck between fear and everything that fear will create. The voice of a generate. I won't finish the line until I do justice to all the people who said I'd be great. When I rap, hear God in my voice. What if Rose never got him a Royce? You think Robert Opp had an option or choice? All he had was a vision and a whole lot of poise.
Welcome to
on a stage with a mic in the crowd,
podcast,
I end debates. Only thing that you can't escape is the history you're meant to make.
Shout out to my man Stack Rap. Woo! If y'all haven't copped that beanie season, shit crazy. That's the point right now. But yo, man, you know this, man. CEO McClain, TrainingdayCLT. Woo!
A rap disciple who lacks an idol, no rap recital ever made me wanna be like a rapper. They half as vital as the average gato, so tell these whack entitled little rapid bridles that I'll throw them in the trash. Stack recycle, it's a problem I got, I call it the Jordan syndrome. Hit a train in your face and then all the doors hit them. A horrorcore of scoring, I get it sorta mixed up. My own team gotta watch out, I'll fuck horror shit up. This ain't a sport, it's more like marketing. In fact, better to know Shannon than me sharpen the track. And I'm the Lori marketing of rap, not a wolf or a cat. Motherfucking artists with the jazz. They like Barton when he's starting, cause they ass rap out getting hard in the club. James Target in the ass.
Make sure that shit alive. Make sure that shit alive. Share
I'm dumping on the track. On and on I'll go until y'all get in the point. Like I'm trading you Chris Paul for some Clippers and coins. If Scotty gets pissed off when they pippin' his story,
somebody go get Stack Rap. I'm gonna get up in here right now.
Y'all better call Saul, cause I'm passing the bar. Only thing that you passing is fucking dash with the gnar. I be an awful passenger, dog, cause you go on a beat and I get the spaz until you crash in your car. We'll sign to a label, but maybe NASA, cause y'all the only institution that can truly capture a star. Who knows if their telescopes can go actually that far, but I know my flow hella got like an Trainee
bar. When the sun shines, like yellow with us in a minute.
Colorado, wanna cop another bottle, maybe pimp it in Chicago, hella final body, final look like something I want. I won't know if it's true until it is something I've bought, but something's for sure that I've got a hidden secret.
Shit alive, shit alive, shit alive, shit alive, shit alive. What up, y'all?
Cause I don't even know, like how the fuck Smiley got signed by OB and No. If Rose being broke, tell him he's garbage, hand him a job application, tell him to sell him some cars. When the industry wants to sell him as a star, is when we know that nothing about this shit's competitive, dog.
What up, y'all?
Get it? I'm like meta at war. In the crowd throwing hammers at
every man. Shit alive, shit alive.
When talent's got a bone cause when the clouds in charge of talent start to lose control.
Trying to perform tomorrow, we ain't got no slots, man.
I know they're gonna hate me for simply being this.
Listen, tomorrow is collab night. We don't have no slots. Every performer confirmed for tomorrow. No more slots. But if you're a performer, come through, network. We're gonna have DJ Polo in the building. And if y'all don't know DJ Polo, then you don't know Charlotte music scene at all. Y'all, everybody used to Chuck T's and shit. DJ Polo is that guy. Alright? No disrespect to Chuck T, shout out Chuck T. But DJ Polo, man, he's gonna be in the building judging tomorrow. You know what I mean? You wait for Sunshine to get in the building. In the meantime, yeah, we got it's tomorrow, so you know, no slots available, but you know, still pull up. You know what I'm saying? If you're an artist, whatever, you come vibe network. You know, a lot of time artists feel like if they're not on the list to perform, that they don't gotta come. That's a stupid fucking idea. That's stupid. If anybody is performing when there's music and there's DJs and there's artists and there's other personalities, show your face. Shake some hands. Y'all niggas gonna probably be at home hating because y'all wasn't performing. Stupid. Shout out to Stack Rap. We got a trainee tonight, winner from last week, Sunshine. She's gonna be in the building with us in a few minutes. You know what I mean? Make sure that shit alive. Make sure that shit alive. Shit alive. Shit alive. Shit alive. Shit alive. Share the motherfucking live. Share the live. Because if y'all was on here getting y'all live interview, y'all would want other people to share y'all live so other people can see. Right? We gotta get out of this hate shit. This hating on one another shit is super dead, man. Shout out to Skip. Not Skip. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Shaw. They came together on First Take. Two prominent black men in sports and entertainment and broadcasting came together on ESPN to take over. That's a power move for us. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta stop that hating shit. Spread love. If you see a fellow artist doing something, share it. Share it live. Share their music. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's free. It's free to share love. Free 99. Spread some love. So share this motherfucking live, alright? So we're gonna wait for my girl Sunshine to get up in the building. She should have been up in here already. Where is she at? If you know where Sunshine at, tell Sunshine to get her ass up in there so we can get this interview going. I'm trying to continue my drinking. Shout out to No Bobby Punch. Woo. Shout out to my man Biggie, greatest rapper of all time. Don't debate that. So while we wait for Sunshine to get in the building, we're gonna listen to some sounds of stack rap. You dig?
From lacking confidence to being HIM. Big balls is in the building when I say my shit. I love my cities, but they didn't make my pen. Shout out to them legends. I was raised by them. Stack.
Shout out to my man Stack Rap. Waiting for my girl Sunshine to get in the building so we can get this live interview going. Training Day CLT. No Advisory CLT. No Advisory Podcast. Phew. You the best. You the big dogs. You the big dogs. That's my man Stack Rap. If y'all haven't, go get that beanie season out now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Share it live. Share it live. Share it live. Share it live in the groups. Any groups that y'all in. We got our trainee tonight. Winner Sunshine. She's going to be on with us in a few minutes. So, share it live. Share it live. Share it live. Let me pick my beer while I wait. Sunshine, where is Sunshine at? Let's get this interview going.
Devil on my shoulder, weight of the world. This life is a game, he plays on my morals. Spit it with conviction, I'm just saying it thorough. Number 9 on the Bengals, I'ma stay in my burrow. Will I chase on a curl? I'ma make me a play. Life gives you a long night, make it a day. Purely a poet from the state of the grave. The Lord gave me a pen and I gave him his grace. We on a ultralight beam, we on a ultralight beam. Ultralight beam in the way I've been dreaming. It's crazy the things that I'm gonna achieve. Shout out to Chris, shout out to Steve. They came together, created a beat. So when I make it from slaying these beats, my friends and my family will be at the feast. Last time I wrote to this beat I was 17, and every single rapper I heard was
Yes, sir. We're going live with my girl Sunshine. Yeah.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear. Hold on, let me make sure my hardware is in play. I gotta make sure.
No worries.
You know, we work hard for this hardware, so I gotta show it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Feel me? Feel me? Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Wait, hold on 1 second, Sunshine. Yeah.
No worries.
Throw that over there like that. Ooh, look at that punch in there, baby. Ooh, yeah, baby. Yes, sir. So listen, man, I want to welcome our girl Sunshine to No Advisory Podcast, the live version. Listen, if y'all not familiar, we have an open mic that runs concurrently every Tuesdays at Safari Lux Lounge, and we have incredible artists that come through those Training Day CLT doors, and one of those incredible artists happens to be right here on the live with me right now. She came, she saw, she conquered. Training Day CLT, Trainee of the Night, Miss Sunshine. Congratulations to you. As I tell a lot of the artists that is on this platform and they've been to Training Day multiple times, and they be like, man, I didn't win. And I'm like, yo, it just wasn't your time. But last week, it was your time. So, typical Training Day CLT, well, not Training Day CLT, the typical No Advisory podcast style. Let the people know who you are, where you from, and what the fuck you do.
Facts. So I go by Sunshine. I'm originally from a really tiny town. I'm talking population 12,000, Meadville, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and 30 minutes north of Pittsburgh, 45 minutes south of Erie. So kind of smack dab in the middle of some interesting areas. Currently, I do a lot of content creation. I make music, and right before this, I was a pre-kindergarten teacher. Definitely fun vibes there, as everybody can kind of hear, and as the spoken word part went, teacher voices are fun, especially in common settings. But training day is not that. I also taught ballroom dance. I worked in the mental health field. I have a psychology degree. So a lot of music and stuff has been very therapeutic for me.
That's crazy. You said you have a degree in psychology, you stated?
Yes, I do.
That's amazing. Let's get a round of applause for that. You know, that's an ode to you, because that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of studying, takes a lot of patience in order to, you know, kind of getting to know people's minds and their thought processes when you get into that psychology. So that's a ode to you. So let's get down. I like to start from you know, from the beginning to current, to where we currently at now. So let's start from the beginning. Sunshine, where did your name derive from?
So my family, of course, like everybody else's, did the sunshine, you are my sunshine thing. That was a common thing. But when I moved to Greensboro back in 2018, I worked as a pre-kindergarten teacher at a child care network, and the teachers called me, you know, Miss Amanda, which was my government name. But they also called me Miss Sunflower. So that turned into some of the kids calling me Miss Sunshine. And then it just kind of stuck. Even, you know, like the good morning sunshine you get in the South, it's just like a common thing. So I was like, I think that one was kind of the one to stick with. I love Sunshine Anderson. So it's kind of like a little ode to her. She's got a lot of soul, a lot of passion. I know she's also from North Carolina area. So I was like, why not? Might be a fun little homage. The Y in the 3 was its own little spin to it. The 3 is my life path number. I'm a big 333 person with angel numbers, so I had to throw the 3 on there.
Shout out to my brother who just turned 33. So
Yes,
you know, that's
good number.
good. Shout out to my brother. You know, happy birthday, bro. You know, already know.
Happy
So
birthday.
let's talk about the age for a minute. You said population 12,000.
Population 12,000, 95% white population.
Wow.
Very, very small town. I was actually in like a beautiful set of culture shock when we moved to Greensboro. I was excited to be around so much diversity. I was like, what? Someone looks like me. Instead of like, you know, my entire existence growing up childhood-wise was too black for the white kids, too white for the black kids. And I look really kind of ambiguous ethnically. People are always asking me what I am. I'm half. So it's always kind of fun to see moving this way how things have transitioned. But that small town, I'm talking Walmart trips at midnight to go hang out with people because there's nothing else open. Even the bars and the pizza parlors, like everything closed up really early. So moving to Greensboro, getting to be in Charlotte. I was in Durham for a little bit doing some performances and in Raleigh. So a lot of those places, it's been so welcoming, and I'm excited to be a part of it just because it's so live. Like, I don't know. I know you're from New York. And I know it's an organism up there. That is not, it's not even a city. That is a whole living, breathing organism. The city never sleeps.
Never, ever.
So, never. So coming here and kind of experiencing how things are here, it's kind of a taste of that without, you know, taking that full plunge, which I love about this area, and the economy is booming. So
I want to talk about the culture shock that you had previously mentioned. You know, coming from a small town like that, where obviously I would assume that everybody knows each other,
yes.
that less of a population, and then making a trans over to Greensboro. Like, how has that transition been for you musically? I'm not sure if you did music when you was there, or the Greensboro. So let talk about that. But if so, how was that transition musically for you?
Gotcha. So up north, a lot of things, at least where I'm at, I'm like 8 hours from the city. Things are very slow paced, but it's not like South time. Everybody's still kind of organized independently, every man for himself where I'm from. And that also was something very different than down here. A lot of people down here were more family paced, family oriented, and that also was seen in music. So a lot of people weren't really open to wanting to work and collab. And when I moved here, I ended up finding a band that could work with me. We were doing funk and R&B covers for social networking and business networking events. So it was always fun to kind of open up, see what was going on. Whereas up there, it's more EDM, more alternative, more country. Specifically where I'm from, like we have I think it's the third largest agricultural fair on the East Coast. And that's a lot of country music. So coming this way, it's more R&B, more soul. Like I was excited. Shout out to Trap Sid. She invited a couple of artists to perform at a 106 in Park Party. And I wasn't able to attend my own 10-year high school reunion, but I crashed theirs. And there was no way we were doing a 106 in Park Party where I was from. So, like the little things, you kind of take advantage and get excited about the little stuff because music-wise, like there's way more opportunities, I feel like, for what I've been doing in North Carolina.
Right.
We're doing transition sound a lot up there.
Right. Shout out to Trap Sid. If y'all don't know, she's the host of TrainingdayCLT. She is a woman that does a plethora of things. She always stays busy. I can never get Trap Sid down. No, I'm just joking, but that's my girl. So shout out to Trap Sid. So let's dive in from moving from PA to, you said Greensboro, right?
Yes.
Greensboro, and then commuting from Greensboro to Charlotte. What made you say, hey, because Greensboro is rich in culture as well. Let's not, forget about Greensboro. Shout out to the guys out there. But, as we know, Charlotte is the biggest city in, the Carolinas. So obviously a lot of people out here are, moving and shaking. So from Greensboro coming out here to Charlotte, how has that culture shift been for you?
So I'm not going to lie. I love artists in both of the vicinities. I've spent so I haven't been able to do things like Training Day in Greensboro because nothing exists like Training Day. There's nothing quite like Training Day. Just the ability to come in with multiple genres and do awesome things. You have to go to a festival to do things like that. And then you may not get the same type of feedback from the crowd. But I've done a lot of open mics here. Covers always get a really good set of attention wherever you go. But being able to do original work, that's what brought me to Charlotte. Just being able to come in and subjectively not, I was able to present myself fully and not have to put something to the side or feel awkward or uncomfortable about it. I make a lot of family friendly oriented music. So a lot of people around here are looking for stuff to go out and have a good time to. Nothing against that. There's music for every mood.
Right.
But mine being a little bit more laid back, I can't really jump out into a club and jump on a track. Nobody wants to hear, singing at 2 a.m. Whitney Houston on the mic. Not necessarily. You got to go to a specific venue for that. So that's where the open mics in Greensboro have been great, but it's not necessarily Training Day. So that brought me to Charlotte. Met a lot of great artists, and the festivals kind of started it in Greensboro for me as an independent artist. Like I shared, I was doing some stuff in Raleigh, Durham back in September with a band called The Remnant. Shout out to The Remnant. They're fabulous. Zion Elijah, Bobby Turnbuckle. Bobby Turnbuckle did all of my beats. He's produced all of my music. He's fabulous. If anybody wants to tap in with a hell of a producer, that's a guy. Zion Elijah, he's amazing. He has some music coming out. He has Junigus 1, 2, and 3. There's some dope albums. I'm excited for him and the works he's doing. And I'm doing some features with him as well. Very dope Israelite artist. He's on top of it. He's doing some really cool stuff.
Oh, I know you mentioned doing covers, and I remember the first time you came to TrainingdayCLT, and then I heard you. I was like, who's this girl? I'm sometimes people don't really know who I am. I kind of be quiet, chill. Even though I be on the mic, but I be kind of chill. I only up for, shout out to everybody. But, there's just certain people that when you hear, you're like, let me hear what they got, and then when you got it there, like, let me hear what you got, and you was talking about covers. So for the people that don't know and never seen you perform, aside from the covers, let them know what is your music style, what inspires you to make music.
Absolutely. I do neo soul and R&B. I have 2 EDM tracks as well, and working on a country and a pop track. So
okay.
yeah, I'm kind of all over the place musically. Having come from different backgrounds, there's so much of a variety that I've had exposure to growing up, and I've kind of felt at home deep in that neo soul genre, just because it doesn't quite fit R&B, it doesn't quite fit soul, it doesn't quite fit alternative, it kind of smash in the middle. So it's homey for me. I have a couple of songs called Sidewalks and Twilight Zone and Brown Sugar Sunshine, and I'm pretty excited because I do have a full album dropping here by the end of September. It's been kind of in the works over the last year. It's been mastering things, but yeah, lots of like 90s, early 2000s vibes. I like house music, things you can clean to on a Sunday, vibe out at the beach, some laid back stuff.
You know what that is called? That is called versatility as an artist.
Thank you.
A lot of artists and use that word lightly, but when you are an artist, that means you can do an array of things, right? Just if you just have artists in terms of a painter, right? That's an artist or artiste, as they would, commonly put it. But you being the artist that you are and being able to do multiple genres of music is an ode to you as an artist. So ode to you. Tip my hat up to you. Let me get a drink for that.
Take one for me too. There we go.
There we go. Shout out to the punch. So you won Trainer of the Night. Obviously, you are an artist. We're not going to put you inside of a box. But in that particular night, you did spoken word. And it was interesting because I was talking to the team. I'm like, man, what are we going to do if a spoken word artist wins, right? Because obviously this is still a new format for us, and we're still trying to figure out a few little outside things, and spoken word is one of the main things. You being an artist and then doing spoken word, tell the people, how has that helped you in getting your message out, or just being comfortable and being a complete artist?
So I guess the best way to start this is just by saying that when you start to create art, always being able to fine tune that craft is going to be something that helps you. Like you were sharing, that versatility. That song and poem was kind of written as a dedication to Aaliyah, who I love. She's one of my influences. And the Isley Brothers, of course, because they also, that's who wrote it for Aaliyah. It's also for my husband. At the time that I was writing it, I was like, I want to do something really special with this. How can I make it special? And turn it into an acrostic poem. And that's where, that art comes together with learning and educating. And so I was like, hold up, I need to make sure everybody knows what an acrostic poem is, as well as like fun ways to kind of put this out there. So I performed that piece actually as the song at that 106 in Park party. And then I performed it at Training Day, half of it. So I've been kind of priming, but being able to do that as spoken word, open and live that night, I was able to kind of very much feel the energy that I wanted to put into it singing, that I know I've been going through a lot of personal things I haven't been able to execute on stage. So being a spoken word artist for the night and still being able to get my point across without having to sing, that spoke volumes to me because of the lyrics. It just meant like I was heard. It meant my love was heard. Everybody was able to see it that night. And as a creative, like that meant a lot to me because your message gets fully across. So being bestowed that honor, that was a whole blessing. I was so grateful, was very humbled. I was going home. I felt like I was floating on a cloud. I didn't know what to do. And when my name was called, I kind of just kept grabbing my chest like, what? Just because, like you never know when your art's going to be appreciated for what it is. But being able to spend that time to fine tune it and it being appreciated, that speaks volumes to the craft.
Right. I'm telling you, like, Was it
I
still
understand.
like, how was that? Oh man, got my Biggie dropping.
Oh, not
man.
Biggie.
I'm gonna call him back though. That was actually somebody that's going to be a very valuable asset to Training Day CLT.
Oh man, don't say that. I'm like, oof.
I'm back call doing this live, but I get back
I'm
to
still hollering for Tigo B, but that's just me on the side. We all know that though.
it. So where are we going? I forgot. Okay, what I was gonna say was, when artists come through Training Day CLT, a lot of them think that, if, especially from a rapper's perspective, and I tell artists, if you're writing down, that's poetry. You're writing,
Yes.
that's poem, that's spoken word. A lot of rappers think that they can't do spoken word because they always want to put it to music. But I'm like, a lot of times you can get your point across, as you stated. You can get like, say you got a song that's meaningful. It's good to do it in a spoken word form so people can hear the lyrics, and then they'd be like, if you want to hear this song, go get this song such and such, and people are more inclined to be like, yo, I want to get it because I heard the lyrics. So artists, if you're watching, if you are a rapper or an R&B singer, whatever, you want to do the spoken word, you can. It's just taking the music out and doing your lyrics. So let's talk about the single that you have out. I know, is it called Brown Sugar or Sunshine?
So it's Brown Sugar Sunshine. You know how it is with copyright. They don't like to put artist names up inside of titles for singles. That was the first one that I dropped. I dropped that back in May. There's a lot of influences from Brandy, also Aaliyah. A lot of Brown Sugar Sunshine was based on like the sunny skies last year. As COVID was kind of wrapping up, at least for me, in my eyes, towards the end of last year, as things are resurfacing with stuff, there were a lot of really crazy sunsets, a lot of crazy skies. I was spending a lot of time outside, and imagery has always spoken to me when it comes to writing music. So there's a lot of imagery in that song, and it goes back to like poetry and spoken word, just because that stuff goes such a far way. Being able to kind of execute feelings. So I was like, how do I talk about the sky, the music I've been listening to, all these wonderful things going on, because things were so, I don't know, heavy, kind of negative. So I was like, I need some positive stuff. Turn on the radio and everything sounds sad. Like, tired of hearing, all these bummed out things. I need something positive. So I was like, let me make some happy music. This is the one. It turned into its own little life. There's an EDM version of that one, and there's a version of it being made in California Vista. There's that DJ Pause. He's working with some vocals that I had from that, and he wants to do like a couple of different renditions of it. We're talking about doing it regionally, so we have some fun ideas to kind of get it across. It's actually really, a lot of people in Brazil like it. After looking at a lot of reviews, it's kind of cool to see which cities it's kind of hitting in, and feeling like I'm kind of stepping in there without doing that. And that's always fun as an artist too.
That's important, when you got different countries that are in tune with your music. It's important, especially as an artist, with social media algorithms and geographic locations of where your music is being played, to reach out, maybe to somebody out there like, hey, my name is Sunshine, and, they saw my song is in rotation out there, so stuff that do, as an artist, to tap in those different countries, so that are tapping in with your music. One thing I could say about your music is that it's a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
Especially listening to even R&B, at times it sounds like rap. I'm like, making no more. It's like, you got an op in R&B too, bro. Like, come on, we can't. You singing ops, you like, yo, what's going on, bro? So I applaud you for having a breath of fresh air in terms of music. So keeping it on. We celebrating the 50 years of hip hop. We say hip hop, R&B. Where do you feel like you being different? Where do you feel like your music resonates now and into the future in music?
So I'm a firm believer in history repeating itself. A direct example of that would be the country cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car that just came out. Seeing how things like to repeat or things are ahead of their time, I think we're on like a 70s, 80s kick. I'm thinking about 10 years, something might pull off and get popular. It's typically how it goes. You never know as long as you keep your stuff up to pace. I think the more stuff that I'll create, some of the collabs that I've wanted to work on, I think it'll be a little bit more current, and I'm excited about that just because I don't want to be Stacy's mom and like stuck in a certain genre or a certain span of time. No matter how comfortable I am, that is something that I know I want to be as an artist and be a little bit more adaptable with like the time span. But I do think it's a little bit out of what most people are listening to at this time, but I think people are heading back that way. So I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, but it's fun being a part of something that not everybody listens to.
Right.
And that's something that I love about Training Day too. Like all these artists, 2K, One Up, Poetic Pariah, all these people are coming out with stuff that like, it's timeless. You just have to be in the mindset to hear it. And these underground artists are going crazy. There's a couple of artists I really want to bring into Training Day from the Greensboro area. But I also know like you got to be ready and you got to want to bring it when you come to Training Day. So you can't push anybody, can't force anybody. They got to come at their own pace. But I think there's a lot of really great opportunities for people out there if they just kind of reach out and grab them. And Training Day is definitely one of those.
Appreciate it. And, you know, we've been doing it for 4 years now. And there has been a lot of artists that has come through those doors and learned the process, learned from all the free 99 gyms that we put out, and just learning how to be structured and putting events together. And a lot of them have went out from Training Day and coordinated their own events, you know, Roulette, Infrared, Mary Matt, you know, these guys came through the Training Day platform and went out and started doing their own thing. So, you know, thank you for giving us that big up. And there's a lot of artists that just won't come, you know.
And they should. It's so nice.
I don't know why, you know, it's just, I mean, because Charlotte is so cliquish per se, and
I hear it.
People tend to be comfortable in their environments that they're already in and don't want to branch out, which is cool if you want to do that, you know. But to artists, I tell them, if you haven't came through a Training Day open mic one time, then either you hating or you hate. That's it.
It's gotta be something.
So I want to talk about like, because in music, right, it's a very daunting task, you know, to say the least. It takes a lot of financial structure, patience, time, you know. So give the artist that's looking, watching, will watch, let them know some of the struggles that you had to overcome and some of the struggles that you are going through now to get in doing your music.
Absolutely. So good music costs money. Regardless of what anybody says, good music will cost money. Quality, whatever it is, equipment, whether you're paying the producer, whether you're paying someone to distribute, you're going to have to do that. That being said, it's not easy out here. You have to find other little hustles and grinds. Most of us are out here working full-time, part-time, extra jobs too, trying to make things meet. But that doesn't mean like don't do it. Even if you only can get one single out and you execute that single 100 times, people are going to know it. They're going to love it. And if you put the time and the effort and quality into it, they're going to be right there with you, cheering you on. Me as an individual artist, when I walked in there, I was using BandLab the very first week. I did not have a studio, TV track, nothing. I was in the car, best in a studio track. And the first time I performed in Charlotte, I was transitioning. I went to the Mooski competition and tried to open for him live. And at that time, I was moving. So I slept on we were transitioning between house and apartment, and we were very late moving. So I literally made like a pallet of bed on clothing and put a weighted blanket on top of it, and we slept on it for like 5 hours before I had the show. I didn't have a comb. I was in there picking my hair with a pencil, trying to like add stuff in, and you name it. It's not easy being an artist, but if you get out there and you do it and show face, even if you're showing up late, somebody's going to notice. They're going to see you're putting in that work and that extra effort. And like it's fun because those struggles make the experiences where you're winning or you're feeling triumphant way more mountainous. So I think back to that Mooski competition, and I thought about training day, and I was like, man, very different moments, because that planning ahead can go ahead and push that extra mile. So that's where, like, even if you got to take that week and it sucks because you want to be there, but if you take that break, it's going to make the difference when you go back because you're better equipped.
Right. That, I couldn't have scripted a better answer than that. You know, because I tell all the time, man, that social media is good and bad, right? It's good because you can put your face and music in front of millions of people with a click of a button. It's bad because people see the good and don't see the grind and think that they could just go on there and do that and they're going to attain that type of success. And I think that social media in terms of music has put a taint or dent in the grinding process of music development, you know, artist development and stuff like that, because social media is just so available to everybody across the globe. So I think that process and understanding the grind of being a music artist, people got to appreciate that and learn that kind of again, because it's not happening now in music. So, you know, with that being said, I just want to know from you, where do you see yourself? Because people always say, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? I fucking hate that question. I'm like, yo, y'all stop asking that shit. I say, where do you see yourself in the next year? And I say this because you're going to look back on this on a year from now and be like, did I accomplish that? And always going to, you know, push you to be like, I got to get this shit.
I gotta get it done. I see what you're saying. I definitely want to have another album out at least by next year. I think I want to make it to, I'm a huge SWV fan, and I'm mad that I missed their block party. So I want to make it to some kind of SWV tour in the next year. It's on my bucket list just because I know they're performers too. They're a heck of a set of performers. I want to get more features out. So I've been DMing people here and there like, hey, what you guys got in mind? What you doing? Those are some things that I want to do. Also pairing that with finding kind of a position in the music field, I think. So I've worked in mental health. I've worked in childcare. I've worked with elderly. I've worked in nonprofit, but I haven't done anything directly in music production. And I've done so much promotion and marketing work. I've even done grant writing. That being said, there's got to be some kind of music marketing talk show host, promoter, something out there that'll help me be able to kind of continue promoting my music and doing things that I love as a creative since leaving corporate America a little bit more. And kind of being my own entrepreneur for myself. But doing that and staying feminine is also something I want to do over the next year, if that makes sense, because it's definitely a very, very dominant field. And that's something like hubby and I have discussed a lot.
Well, if you look, I mean, it's not that it's well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not
you have to be assertive. You have to be assertive.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of when you said being feminine, right?
Yes.
As far as in the music industry, you know, females are dominant right now in my POV.
Yes.
But that it's great music, right?
Yes, it is. No, I'm glad everybody is capable of making great music. Collectively, like blanket statement, everybody can make great music. And I think that the messages that we put honestly, like the music that we put out can have such strong messages and imagery for our youth. That they're our future.
Right.
When it comes down to anything else, they're the people that we need to be looking out for. And us
Right.
being nurturers and being protectors, I would love to see more music that's along those lines out.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with the music put out. I'll go put on some Cardi B right now if we wanted to listen. When I mean, like on throwing some sexy red, like I'm ready. But there's a time and place, and I think that we need some balance. And there's a lot of hyper dominance when there could be like, okay, listen to what I have to say. I don't have to worry about you. I'm still in my feminine energy.
Right. You know, like I said, you know, shout out to the artist that's mainstream now. That's the only thing I never want to take away.
Get the bag. Always get the bag, regardless. Get the money.
Right to say trash or not, that's just my point of view. You know, Sexy Red trash. I'm just sorry, the music is horrible. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But that's
She making bank. I ain't hitting nobody making bank.
horrible. That money stink.
Somebody
But I want to know, who are Sunshine's top 3? I don't do 5. 3.
Top 3.
Top 3 artists of all time.
So my favorite band in general is The Killers. I'm a huge alternative. I was an emo kid. No other way to phrase it.
Now you
I was
emo
that
adult.
person running around scene. Yep, still, you know, got the little emo in the pocket. That's the black lipstick. I love Lauryn Hill. I'll put her number 2. She's incredible. And I guess I will go with Andre 3000 last. Just to kind of get a little space. Gotta give the Outcast shout out, but Andre 3000, anything he jumps on is fire. Fire. It doesn't matter what it is.
Album, if you didn't know. Yes,
you have no idea. I've been waiting on that one.
So what are your top 3 one more time? Your top 3 artists of all time are?
The Killers, the band, Lauryn Hill, and Andre 3000.
I heard that. You heard those. That's an amazing top 3. And you did it pretty fast. Who was it? I had Cams on the previous week, and it was like picking cotton in the field.
I mean, it's hard, but like, I feel like I've been asked that a couple of times. Normally it's top 5, but you got to give a little bit of balance too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the cliche. If I was the top 5, I try to be, because 3 is because it'd be that one that you leave out, that you want to insert, but you're like, should I put this? So, you know, it gets a little tedious at times for people that are used to the top 5 questions, you know.
Yes.
So let's talk about, before, the little things that you do outside of music. If y'all haven't seen, and I told you this already, you be putting my videographers. I'm like,
no, they're incredible. You have a great team. You have a great team. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to
Yes.
Those are my guys.
They're incredible.
Especially Leroy. Leroy been rocking with us forever. But I'm like, yo, I be looking at these dead videos. I be like, God damn. And I know Leroy them seen them like, God damn, go to Sunshine again.
I mean, Leroy showed out. I had to make that one for him. Like, there was no doubt. That man is very talented. Actually, everybody on your team is talented, beyond a doubt. And it's crazy how many hats everyone's wearing. But I love seeing everything come together so cohesively. The reels, I did broadcasting in high school. So I was that person jumping in on the morning announcements and making little videos and stuff on Fridays. I did promotions for a dance group in college called Orchesis. It was a student-run dance company, as well as a student literary magazine. So lots of promotions, marketing, lots of videos. This stuff is just kind of second nature and fun. Also therapeutic for me. I love that. My favorite part of a show is actor. Being able to go and see everything that happened, the growth, the ways that people did things differently. Like, I don't know, Cam's one night, I was looking at footage. Speaking of Cam, shout out to Cam.
Shout out.
The difference in energy level from one night to the other. Normally he's off the charts, but I don't know what it was about this one night. He like jumped off of the stage, and then he like jumped in this circle, and then he was like not around like the square, but it was in the circle, like in front of everybody. And I'm like looking at it on the camera, like, how is he doing this and singing? Like, energy. But just being able to look at those things and make those reels, it's so much fun. Seeing what kind of like fun angles we can get, and the venue is incredible. Safari Lux Lounge is incredible to get content out.
Sure is. The lights and everything, the smokes, the aesthetics is just, you know, shout out to those guys, man. Eddie, Eugene, Shout out to those guys, man, because, you know, when we was making a transition back into Training Day CLT, we was looking for a venue, you know, to not only give us that look, but to give us that comfortability that we won't go nowhere else, you know. So I really, those guys are opening a venue for us to allow you guys to do your thing and allow Training Day to, you know, continue what we do. So last question, well, two more questions. If you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing?
So I did also start grad school in clinical mental health counseling. I would probably be a therapist somewhere or life coach, doing something more mental health based, just because that's where my background is. Done a lot of work in that realm. Especially compliance components. I was working as a clinical compliance manager for a little while, helping out, making sure things were set for audits and paperwork's organized. And that's tedious work, but I don't mind paperwork. Definitely always got my head in some kind of writing, whether it's music or clinical compliance work, clinical paperwork or mental health assessments, or you name it. It's probably some level on that.
See how your mood lessened when you talk about corporate America, but your mood was heightened when you talk about music. So
yes.
You know where you're supposed to be.
Exactly. And I mean, there are ways things can go hand in hand. You can still incorporate things. So
do what you love.
Never know.
Do what you love, and you love what you do.
Yes.
You know? So my final question to you is, well, one is a final question, and then one is a final statement. Final question is, how has your training day experience been for you?
So I was supposed to go home like 3 weeks ago. It's been 6 weeks now. I think that kind of says enough. Even if it's just on one day a week, it's been holding me there. Going to interact with everybody, it feels like family. I haven't even been there very long, but the amount of time that I've been there, the amount of love, the amount of support that I've been able to both give and receive, it's very much reciprocal. And that's not something you find in every space. My training day experience has been so warming and welcoming that, like, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of like, okay, what now? Is it Tuesday yet? This collabo night's going to go crazy.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh. Hey, shout out to Collab Night. Honestly, this has been one of the most anticipated collab nights that we have had. And that says a lot, because we had a whole plethora of artists that came through there, and we did collab nights here and there. But it's just something about you guys' energy, as you said. Like, we've always been about that, you know, a family, being with the artists, working with the artists, and sometimes it gets me in trouble for doing too much, you know, but I don't care. You know, that's just my passion, right? But this collab night that's coming up, man, and I'm just seeing the collabs and the promo video, you and Poetic, it was crazy, you know, and then got me into the goddamn promo video. Together, it's just, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, you know, artists and people come together, because there's been certain artists that just collaborated just for this night that have never met prior to training day, you know, which is amazing to watch. And that's what the collab night essentially is about, you know, bringing different collectors together to record music. So it's going to be a great night, and then you guys is going to make it a great night. My final thing for you that is a final statement is, what piece of advice can you give any artist, new or old, or that, you know, just wanting to get into music? What piece of advice can you give that person in making that transition into music?
Show face. So there's a cycle for everything. Don't get me wrong. I was in my studio time too. Spent my time where my head was in the studio. Spent my time mapping out when I wanted to put my music out. Have a plan. But make sure that you're putting your face out there. Nobody will know what you sound like if you're not exposing yourself to these environments, these experiences and these situations. Nobody is going to get to hear your sound. So if you want your sound to be heard, you need to show up. And that may be taking that extra hour that you wanted to spend sleeping and putting yourself together to go step out and get ready. That may be taking a lot of sacrifice. But it's going to be worth it if that's what you want to do and you're passionate about it. You're serious. That's how you know.
Right. And then I'm glad you said that, because when you look at artists, and especially like you could say local artists, right? Because I tell there's like 3 stages. You got the local artists, you got the independent artists, and you got the mainstream artists, right? So starting off as a local artist level. And to make it to that independent artist level, you gotta, like you said, get out there, get yourself out there, get your sound out there, get your face out there. What kills me is artists, again, piggybacking on what I said previously, that won't come to like the training day or won't go to any type of open mic, or they feel, oh, I'm too big for that. Who the fuck is gonna know you? Nobody's gonna know your face. And you just think you're gonna put out some music and everybody gonna cater to it.
Even if they don't like it, you're gonna be remembered. They're gonna be like, dang, that person they don't like any press is press when it comes to getting your sound marketed.
Yeah.
Like Island Boys didn't get popular off of good sound. We know that much. There's lots of people that have been made off of not having it. Like even Doja Cat, she had Moo.
Right.
She came out with Moo, and people were like, "What is this?" And it turned into
one of the biggest records.
That's what I'm saying. Even, and I can't. Even, Lil Nas X spending $50 in the studio to make Old Town Road. Like, there's so many things. You never know when your stuff's gonna pop off, but you still have to show up to do it.
Right.
Like, and as long as you're doing it, somebody's gonna see it eventually.
There you go. Listen, let them know where they can find you out on all social media platforms. Let them know what new music you got coming out with. Let the people know.
Sounds good. So I'm going to have an album coming out called Sun and Moon. It'll be out in September. Hopefully September 30th is the deadline I'm shooting for. You can find me on TikTok, SUNSHYN3, Instagram, SUNSHYN3_333. We talked about that at the
Yes.
Facebook. I have Amanda Warner, but it says Sunshine with an E because they didn't let me put the 3 on the end of it on Facebook as well. But we're out here. My music is on all platforms. I have 3 singles out. Check them out. Thanks for tuning in.
We have Miss Sunshine, our trainee of the night. We want to give you congratulations. If y'all want to see this young lady perform, come out to Collab Night tomorrow night. She's going to be performing with another R&B songstress, Poetic Pariah. Amazing show. So if you ain't there, you a square. Once again, Sunshine, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. That was our girl Sunshine, our last week's trainee of the night. Look at Poetic Pariah in the building. What up? What up? You just missed your shout out. Well, she showed a shout out. But that was our last week's trainee of the night, Miss Sunshine. Again, guys, we got Collab Night coming up tomorrow. So if you're an artist that's out there and you've never been to a TrainingdayCLT platform, make sure you come out tomorrow night to our Collab Night. It's going to be an amazing night. We got 40 artists doing collabs. It's crazy. It's going to be crazy, man. Again, man, thank you guys for tuning in, man. This will be on YouTube probably about tonight, so we can check it out tonight. So it's going to be on the Instagram page until we make that transition to the YouTube. All right, so it's your boy C.O. McClain, No About You Podcast. Got my man Biggie. I got my punch. And guess what? Happy Labor Day! We out, y'all. Yeah! Bang, bang!